Hi everybody, welcome back to Eileen's Craft Nook. So today we're going to do some temporary tattoos in these coasters. Before I get started, for anybody that watched my last video, um, if you remember, for my leftover resin, I made these little keychains. Well, I ended up finishing them off, and all I did was I had these stickers from Dollar Tree, all these, and they're the rub-on stickers, and I put them on, and then I had the this gold nail tape, and then I top coated it with UV resin, and that's it. And they're so pretty. They're going to be so cute for summertime. I am pleased with these, and so easy. And it was just leftover resin with some mica in it. So I definitely plan on making more. Anyways, I had said I would share the finished product, so I wanted to make sure I did that. Okay, so the plan today is I was watching a creator, and I'll have to look up her. Sorry, I cannot remember her name, but I'm gonna look it up so I can share it with you guys before the end of this video. She did this tray with a tiger in it, and it was just gorgeous. So I watched it, and she used the tattoo, and then used micas mixed with UV resin to color it, and then top coated it. And her top coat was an orange for the tiger. So I wanted to start. I don't have the same trace what she had, and you do have to top coat if you're not putting anything on the bottom, because if you put this straight on the mold, it'll be sticky, which is fine, but you'd have top coat it. So in order to avoid doing that, I've added a very thin bottom coat, or sorry, top coat in both these coasters, just clear. So that's what I'll be adhering the tattoos to, so that I don't have to do a top coat. So I've already taken this tattoo has a top coat, top sheet, whatever you call this, on it. I'm going to take that off, and then I'm going to position this one where I want to put it. And these are clear, so you can always flip it over and see if it's where you want it. And then I'm just going to take a wet paper towel, and this is just straight water. You could use your baby whites, but I wouldn't suggest using them if they have anything added like aloe or anything. Like mine have vitamin aloe. If they are pure water, I'd use it, but I'm not really sure if the aloe might impact the tattoo. So I'm just using the paper towel. So I have it where I want it to be, and I don't want it to slide around. So I'm just going to just dab it. It doesn't need to be soaked, but you just want to, anybody remembers doing this as a kid. I did pick up these tattoos from Temu. I do know that Amazon has a lot of different ones as well, and they're really not that expensive. You can get a nice package of them with quite a few different tattoos for probably around $10. On Temu, you can buy them as a package, or you can buy them separately. Some of the ones I bought separately were like 80 cents. So I was hoping it would. Maybe it's not wet enough. I don't want to get it too wet. Okay. I may just have to pick it up in a corner here. Okay, yeah, it's down. So I'm going to go very slowly, just to be sure. There we go. And you could take a dry, which I don't have one in here with me, but a dry paper towel and dab, dab, dab. I'm going to have to go grab a dry paper towel. So as you can see, that's come off. All right, do the next one. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this one. So I'm just going to get it wet. And while that's there, I'm just going to go grab a dry one so I can dab, dab that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just have to share. I've been trying to put this one down. Couldn't figure out why it wasn't come off. It's because I forgot to take the darn top coat off, and now I've ruined it because it came off on the sheet. So I'm quite disappointed with myself, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully, for those who this may happen to, hopefully this is a learning experience you don't, I'm actually going to lay this sheet down directly on my mold. So I'm just going to dry this off. Silly me. Okay, and then I'm going to do my best. I'm going to kind of taco it and then move it out like that. I kind of should have moved it down a little bit more, but that's okay. Okay, so I just want to show you the colors I'm going to use. I have this green, and I think I might use a little bit of this lighter green. I have a dark rose and a pink. The only thing you have to be mindful of is if we're using UV resin, that UV resin won't cure if the color's really dark. So when I add the mica, I'm not going to go heavy-handed with it. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit lighter, and then I'll test it with the UV light to see how well it's curing. So I'm going to get started. I'll show you how I start, and then I'll probably work through the flower and then come back. So I'm going to start with, I think, I haven't used these two colors before, so I love the dark rose. I'm just hoping it's not too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit of UV resin in here. This bottle is almost empty, but I do have some new stuff that I purchased. So I'm just going to try a little bit to start with. I can always mix more. And add my little bit of mica in here so I can see what color I get. So I just, as you can see, I just added a tiny little bit. I want to see how much color that gives me on whether I need to add more. And it's all going to be in your preference too, right? How much color you want showing through. I myself, like, this is still a little bit translucent, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to go ahead with this. Okay. So you decide where you want the color to go. And then go ahead and add it. And I'm going to do this kind of a little bit at a time. This is kind of like coloring. Now, what you need to remember is the black. You can color over top the black on this side because the black lines show up. This is the bottom, remember? So it doesn't matter if I'm covering up those black lines because they'll show up through the other side. So this is fairly translucent, which is okay because I know that way my it will cure with the UV resin. Now, I probably could have tried it a little darker. Let me just add a little tad bit more. Okay, I can see the difference. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but I am going to add a little bit of this darker in here. And you're painting, right? So shading is fine. If you, it doesn't have to be all a solid color. What I have to determine is make sure I'm looking at what's flower and what is leaves. I think I'm, oh yeah, I think this is all flowers. So I'm going to paint this all in. Okay. All right, I'm going to continue with this color and I'm going to do this rose in the center. As you can see, there's this rose and then there's this flower, which I think I'll do white because it looks like a lily to me. There's a bud, some buds here, and there's another closed up rose down here. I may do that in the lighter color. So I'm going to finish this one and I'll give you, I'll get started on the white one and I'll be back with a status update. Okay, just want to share that I did that rose and then I just cured it for 90 seconds. I'm not fully curing it. I'll do a full cure at the end. And while that was under the UV light, I mixed up some white, and I'm going to do this little lily here. All right. So once again, I'm going to get started, but then just so this video doesn't end up being too long, I will be back once I'm done. Okay, so I just have to share, it is not my day. Look what happened to my little pot of green. Right here, it fell. So I'm going to see if I can salvage some of that. Okay, we're back. Let me give you an update of where we are. So what I did was I finished putting the micas in each of these, and then I cured them under the UV lamp for about 5 minutes on this side, and then I held it the UV lamp underneath, and then cured the other side for about 3 minutes. I did the same with this one. You want to make sure they're good and cured. And then I also went, and all my little pots I was using, I cured those. I had a little bit of the rose left, so I put it in this little guy, and then I cured him up. So let me just pop him out. See? Just a little cat pendant. I got to trim the one little piece off of it, but isn't that cute? Just to use up your extra. Didn't want anything to go to waste. And you can still see my mess. I did try to clean up that mica. Thank goodness for puppy pads. So then I tried to decide what color I was going to use. So I mixed up, and this is regular 1-to-1 resin. So I think in this one, I'm going to go with this. It's a light gold out of my micas. So this is it. Now what you don't want to do is go with black. If you pour black, then you're going to lose out on, see the definition on the side with those black lines? You would lose that. So I mean, maybe you could. I don't know. I think you would lose that definition and it wouldn't look good. So I wouldn't suggest it. And the other one, I just put in my white pigment powder. This one's called Iridescent. And I'm going to do that in the smaller one. So let's go ahead and get those poured. Oh, look at the bubbles in this. Okay, I'm just going to bring you in. I'll start with this one. Okay. So some things to keep in mind when you're doing these. Be careful when you're using the micas not to get them out of their containers or out of their little baggies when you're over your molds, because you don't want any to fall into your existing picture. The other thing is when you're using your UV lamp and you still have colors going, I don't have quite enough. I might have to mix up more, but if I do that, I'll just do it off camera. Don't accidentally have your little pots that you have the colors in near your UV, because even if it doesn't fully cure them, it'll kind of make them jelly and they won't be usable. Okay, so I didn't make up quite enough resin for this guy. I made 50 and 45, so I made 90 grams altogether. And mine is a 1-to-1 resin, so that's okay. Let me pour the other one and see if I need more for both or just the gold one. I won't keep you guys for that. I would just do that off camera. All right, let's pour this one and see. Okay. Now what will be interesting is the gold one, the tattoo in that one was actually upside down because it had come off on the wrong side. So we'll see. So when I put the micas on it, it was going on the shiny side, whereas this one was going on the kind of the texture side. Textured. I think this one was pretty dead on. The textured side of the mold. The thing is, I'm probably like 1 ounce short on that other one. I may just leave it. I know I'll have an edge that I can file off. All right, guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to let these dry overnight, and then I will see you once they're set to, and I'm going to just take my torch to these guys, my lighter, not my torch, debubble, and then I will see you guys when these are ready to go. So, see you then. All right, so we are ready to take a look at these painted UV resin coasters that we made. So let's start with the gold one. All right, ready? Oh, I like that. That is beautiful. What do you guys think? Now you can, and recall I put this one on backwards, if you guys remember. So I ended up painting on the wrong side because the tattoo adhered itself to the clear plastic. But you know what? It still turned out beautifully. And you can see the shine of the mica through in the flowers, and the leaves just have a hint of green. Now you can see the outline of the tattoo. I'm okay with that because it's just very faint. And if you wanted to avoid that, what you would need to do is trim close. And you could do that. I don't have good scissors skills or even using my little blade, but you could trim in closer and you would avoid more of that. And I might try that next time, but I think that's gorgeous. And I like the gold as the background. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. Now this one we did with the iridescent background. Ready? Oh, look at that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? And I wasn't sure if this white flower would show up, but it does, because the background is not pure white. And you can see the color, the lighter color here and the darker color here and the greens. That turned out nice. And this one, I can't see the plastic in the background in this one at all. And I don't know if you guys are picking it up in the camera, but I can't see it when I'm looking at this. Not like I can with this one. So this one probably had to do with the fact that I had accidentally had it on the wrong side. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this something that you think you may try? I can tell you I've seen where folks just paint the micas directly on without mixing with the UV resin. The color's there, but they're not nearly as intense as this. And I would definitely be following this method again. So if you haven't already, if you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be on the list to get notifications or in your subscription list, please go ahead and subscribe and click the notify button. I really do appreciate your support for my channel, and I will see you in the next one.